Milton.
Hurricane Milton.
Hurricane Milton.
Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton. Okay guys, we just went through Hurricane Milton and I had a couple trees go down. This is a live oak tree. It's a cool little tree. Sad to see it go. We're gonna see how much progress I can make on this tree. I didn't bring a big chainsaw home. I just have a 170 here. So I have an STIHL MS 170. And it's a pretty big tree. If you guys look at this, it's not gonna do it justice necessarily. But next to my head, it's a big tree. It's thick. It's thicker than my head. It's as thick as my torso. And this chain is simply not gonna go through the whole thing in one fell swoop, as you can see here. It was pretty spooky. The storm was intense. We heard this thing go down. My wife and I were watching a movie last night and this thing just came thudding, shook the floor. It was significant, but I gotta start moving it out of the way. This is my driveway, and as you can tell, it's not a very good driveway anymore. It has a giant tree in the way. So let's get to work. This 170 to the test, y'all. This is STIHL's cheapest chainsaw. They've kind of started to phase these out, and the new ones that they came out are even better than this, but this is just a really basic chainsaw. These are $200 when they came out, and look how much work it can do. This is a big tree. This is not my first tree I've cut down with this saw. I've cut down dozens of trees with this little saw. It always starts. I've had it for about 5 years. I've done nothing to it other than put new chains on it, and we're just gonna work our way down and see how much wood can a woodchuck chuck.
Man, I hate seeing oaks go. I love a good oak tree.
It's a good tree.
It breaks my heart.
You know, this is what I was worried about, that this was on the ground and it was gonna start pinching my bar. But now I've taken some of the weight off, come off the ground, and I can easily work my way all the way through it. So, whew, it's gonna be easy. Running out of gasolina.
Mi gata no para de janguear porque ella le gusta.
Mucho gasolina, everybody gasolina. Guys, this chain that I'm using right now is not even a new chain. I've cut a bunch of stuff with this chain, and as long as you keep them out of the dirt, they'll last a long time. I just had a friend of mine who's a landscaper. He said this might take 3 chains, and I said, I don't think so. We're gonna do an interesting challenge here. We're gonna see how much difference does a new chain make. My chain, like I said, isn't old. It has a lot of life left on it. I'll show you it. There's a lot of meat on these teeth, but like I said, I've been cutting a lot with this saw lately. I haven't replaced the chain in a long time. So we're gonna replace it here in a minute and try it with a new chain, but we're gonna do a time trial. I'm gonna cut one of these logs right here, and then this log is pretty much the same width, diameter for a while. So I'm gonna cut another one with the new chain and see how much longer it takes, and we'll use the timer and see how long it takes. That new chain is way faster, way faster. I keep getting kind of hung up because it's so wet in here. But let's do another one. Time this one. How's my chain tension? Still good? We might be finding the limitations of a 170 right now. I mean, this is a pretty big piece. It's really wet. It's as wide as the entire bar. And every time I get down in there and it starts to get a little tight, it pinches it. Getting back to the same spot and it's stopping it right there. There's gotta be something in that tree right there. So I'm gonna move down a little bit further. Maybe it's a screw or something. There could be something in this tree that's growing up through it. So I'm gonna move down a little further and see if I have more luck here. It feels like I'm hitting something, like a piece of metal or something.
If I should get a 170, they're not very powerful. Come on, baby. Hoorah, baby!
Guys, that is how much work you can do with an MS 170. Guys, STIHL chainsaws are incredible. I never had to charge my battery. I only had to fuel it up once to this whole tree, and it worked flawlessly. Yeah, I got stuck up on a couple things. I mean, this is a big tree. This is a small saw. But if you're looking for a good, affordable saw, check out STIHL's MS 170 or some of their smaller saws. You'd be shocked how much work you could do with one of them. I felt safe. I didn't feel like I was gonna use something that was gonna chop my head off, even though you could totally chop somebody's head off with this, but nice. It felt like a reasonable saw. I could manage it. It wasn't scary or intimidatingly strong. And I was able to work my way through this tree. It only took me probably an hour and I got all the way through it. So saved me 250 bucks. Go get yourself one of these. Thanks for watching.